Have you ever sat alone, wondering if you'll ever meet the one Allah has written for you? You pray, you cry, and still silence. But what if I told you He's already written? What if Allah already chose His name for you before you were even born? You're not forgotten. You're not being ignored. You're being prepared. Because when Allah writes a love story, it's always worth the wait. We live in a world that celebrates speed, fast answers, fast success, fast love. But Allah doesn't work on our timeline. His plan unfolds in ways we can't always understand, and His delays are never without wisdom. Sometimes you pray for something with all your heart. You beg Allah day and night for a sign, a person, a future. But instead of an answer, you're met with silence. You start to wonder, is Allah even listening? Has He forgotten me? But the truth is, Allah never forgets. Not a single tear you've cried, not a single whispered prayer has gone unheard. He hears it all. He sees it all. But He also knows what you don't. He knows when you're truly ready. He knows when the other person is ready. And He knows the exact moment your paths are meant to cross. The delay you feel today could be protection. It could be preparation. You might be asking Allah for a relationship right now, but He knows it would only break you in your current state. So He delays it, not to hurt you, but to shape you, to build your strength, your character, your iman. So when that person finally enters your life, you don't just find love, you find peace. Think of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. Betrayed, thrown into a well, sold as a slave, imprisoned for years. From the outside, it looked like delay after delay, hardship after hardship. But in reality, it was all part of Allah's perfect plan to raise him to power at the right time. Not early, not late. Exactly when it was meant to be. That's how Allah works. Maybe you're asking, why not now? But Allah is saying, not yet. Maybe you're saying, I'm ready. But Allah knows you're not fully. Not the way you need to be for what's coming. And maybe you're wondering, why them and not me? But Allah sees what's written for you, and it's something better than what you're comparing yourself to. What's meant for you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. This is the power of Qadr, divine destiny. It's not random, it's not careless, it's written with the ink of mercy and the wisdom of the one who created your heart. So don't lose hope because of timing. Allah is never early, never late. He is always right on time. Your job is not to control the clock, it's to trust the one who holds it. When the time is right, Allah won't just give you what you asked for. He'll give you more. He'll give you something so beautifully timed, you'll fall into sujood in tears. Not because you finally got it, but because you finally understood why you had to wait. How do you know if someone is truly written for you by Allah? In a world full of uncertainty, it's a question that haunts so many hearts. But Allah doesn't leave His signs unclear. He places hints, quiet confirmations, and deep feelings in your heart that you can't explain. Sometimes it's peace. A peace that comes when you think of someone, not butterflies, not obsession, but sukoon. As if your soul whispers, this is safe, this is right. When Allah writes someone for you, your heart doesn't feel rushed, it feels calm. You might meet them unexpectedly, in the most unplanned way. Not through chasing or searching, but through pure coincidence, or what seems like coincidence to you. But with Allah, there are no coincidences, only divine appointments. He places them in your path when you're not even looking, and somehow it just feels aligned. Then there are the recurring signs. Maybe you've tried to forget them, to move on, but your paths keep crossing, again and again, in different ways. Not because you're forcing it, but because fate gently keeps pulling you both back into the same orbit. That repetition isn't random. It could be Allah's way of saying, pay attention. Sometimes your du'as begin to shift. You no longer just ask for a specific person, you start asking for what's best. And in that shift, Allah aligns your heart with someone whose soul matches your prayer. And perhaps the strongest sign of all, you're not being pushed away from Allah. You're being pulled closer. When the right person is written for you, they don't distract you from your faith. They strengthen it. They remind you of your worth. They guide you back to prayer when you're weak. They become a mirror of your iman, not a threat to it. If someone draws you closer to Allah, gives you peace without chaos, and enters your life without force, don't ignore it. Allah doesn't need noise to make His signs clear. Sometimes His loudest messages come in the form of quiet reassurance. But remember this too. Sometimes someone can feel right, but still not be the one. Because feelings are powerful, but they're not always truth. And just because you felt something doesn't mean it was meant to last forever. It could be a test, or a temporary stop on the way to what's truly yours. So if you're seeing signs, seek clarity through istikhara. Trust the process, not just the emotions. And ask Allah, if this is good for my deen, my heart, and my future, make it easy. If not, remove it with peace. Because what's truly written for you won't confuse you, won't harm you, and won't require you to beg. It will feel right in your soul. It will lead you toward Allah, not away. And when the time is right, it will stay. Nobody likes to wait. Waiting feels like being left behind. It feels like you're standing still while everyone else is moving forward, getting married, starting families, building futures, while you're stuck wondering when your time will come. But what if the wait you hate is actually the mercy you need? You see, when Allah makes you wait, it's never to break you. It's to build you. It's to shape your heart into the version that's ready to receive what you've been asking for. Because the truth is, what you're waiting for might already exist, but you aren't ready for it yet. If Allah gave it to you right now, you might not value it. You might mishandle it. You might even lose it. So He delays, not to punish, but to protect. He pauses, not to deny, but to prepare. Because some blessings can feel like burdens if they come too soon. Think of a seed. It's planted deep in the dark soil. It doesn't see the sun. It doesn't feel the breeze. For a while, it just waits. But under that soil, transformation is happening. Roots are growing. Strength is forming. And when it finally breaks through the ground, it's ready to face the world. That's what your wait is doing, building unseen strength inside of you. Allah knows what you'll face in your future relationship. The trials, the responsibilities, the sacrifices. And He wants to equip you with the emotional and spiritual tools to handle it. So right now, He's teaching you patience, sabar, resilience. He's growing your iman. He's protecting your heart from attaching to the wrong people and preparing it to recognize the right one when they arrive. And sometimes, the wait isn't just for you, it's for them too. Maybe the person written for you is still healing, still growing, still finding their way back to Allah. If He gave them to you now, the timing wouldn't align. The blessing would be premature. So Allah withholds it, not because it's not yours, but because He wants it to arrive complete. And in that process, He gives you something even more beautiful than a relationship. He gives you Himself. Because in the waiting, you pray more. You cry more. You talk to Allah in ways you never did before. You start seeking His signs, His comfort, His guidance. And unknowingly, you build a relationship with Him that becomes the strongest foundation for any love that's to come. That closeness to Allah, that depth in dua, that strength in solitude, that is the blessing. That is the gift. Because people may leave, feelings may change, but Allah remains. And once you find Him in the wait, you'll never walk alone again, even after the blessing arrives. So don't see this period as empty time. It's not a gap. It's not a punishment. It's a divine classroom. Every day you wait, Allah is writing something. Not just your future, but your growth. When the blessing finally comes, you won't just say, finally. You'll say, Subhanallah. Now I understand why I had to wait. Because only Allah knows the perfect time. And when it arrives, you'll realize it was worth every second. Waiting isn't just about patience. It's about transformation, about who you become during the silence, during the delay, and during the moments where nothing seems to be changing. You can spend that time in frustration, questioning, and sadness, or you can turn it into a season of growth, healing, and preparation. Start by deepening your connection with Allah, because the truth is, no one can fill your heart the way He can. Before you're ready to love someone else, you need to be deeply rooted in the love of your Creator. Use these days to strengthen your prayers. Talk to Allah openly and find comfort in His words. The more connected you are to Him, the clearer your vision will be when the right person enters your life. Then, pour your emotions into your du'as. Make sincere, heartfelt supplications, not just for a spouse, but for the one who will be best for your deen, your peace, and your future. Ask for clarity, ask for contentment, and most of all, ask Allah to remove what is not written for you in a way that doesn't break you. That kind of dua changes everything. It teaches you to trust, even when you don't understand. Healing is another part of this journey. So many people pray for love while still carrying the pain of the past. Don't ignore your wounds. Acknowledge them. Sit with them. Then slowly let them go. Your future spouse deserves your healed heart, not your broken pieces. And you deserve peace more than you deserve to stay attached to old memories. Let this time be your recovery. While you wait, focus on becoming the kind of person you hope to meet. Are you kind, patient, humble, loyal? The love you're praying for will flourish through the character you're building now. And if you become the person you're meant to be, you won't just attract the right soul, you'll be able to sustain love with sincerity, faith, and maturity. And don't forget to live. This wait is not a pause on your life. It's a divine chapter filled with purpose. Set goals, nurture your talents, travel, learn, grow, spend time with family, serve others, and enjoy the blessings you already have. Love will not complete you. Only Allah does that. But the right love will complement the life you've already built with faith and intention. You may feel like you're in a holding pattern, but you're actually in the hands of the one who writes perfect timing. This is not wasted time. It's sacred time. Every prayer, every tear, every quiet night matters. And when your soul is ready, when your heart is steady, and when the path is aligned, what's written for you will arrive. Not a moment too soon, not a second too late, but right on time, with wisdom, with peace, and with a story that only Allah could have written. She never expected her life to change at a train station. Sarah was 28. She had watched friends get married, start families, post pictures of perfect lives, while she silently waited. Every proposal her family brought felt forced or wrong. She prayed, cried, and wondered if Allah had forgotten her. But deep inside, she kept holding on. Ya Allah, she would whisper at night, write someone for me who brings me closer to you. One rainy afternoon, she missed her regular train. Frustrated, she sat down on a bench. Next to her sat an elderly woman who smiled and said, "Sometimes delays are a blessing." They started talking. Within minutes, the woman mentioned she had a grandson, someone grounded in deen, kind-hearted, and ready for marriage. It sounded too random to be real. But within months, they met. And this time, Sarah felt something different. Not butterflies, but peace. There was no chasing, no confusion, just calm, just clarity. After istikhara and family involvement, they married. Today, she looks back and smiles. Not because the wait was easy, but because it led her to the exact person she was meant to meet. And it happened when she least expected it. Then there's Amir, who thought he had it all figured out. He had a girl in mind. They talked about marriage. Everything seemed perfect, until it wasn't. She left suddenly. He was heartbroken and angry with Allah. But slowly, through prayer and reflection, he began to heal. He focused on his career, served his community, and reconnected with his deen. 2 years later, he met someone during a charity event. She was everything he didn't know he needed: quiet strength, sincerity, and ima'an that humbled him. They connected deeply, not through forced effort, but through shared values. Today, he says, "I thank Allah for that heartbreak. If he hadn't closed that door, I would have never found the right one." These stories are not fantasy, they're reminders. When you wait with trust, Allah writes something better than what you imagined. And when it comes, it won't confuse you, it will comfort you. Just like that train delay, or that heartbreak. Everything is part of His perfect plan. You've prayed, you've cried, you've waited, and deep inside your heart, you still wonder, will it ever happen for me? The answer is yes, but in Allah's time, not yours. Because the one who created your heart also created the one it's meant for. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are being prepared. Every delay is not a denial, it's divine protection. Every closed door is not rejection, it's redirection. And every unanswered dua is being saved for the perfect moment. Don't compare your timeline to others. Some flowers bloom in spring, others in autumn. What's written for you will come to you, even if the whole world tries to stop it. And what's not written for you will never stay, even if you beg for it. So instead of chasing what isn't yours, wait for what Allah has already written. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Let your patience be a form of worship. Let your trust be louder than your fear. Because when the moment arrives, when your name meets the one written beside it in the book of Qadr, it will be beautiful, effortless, and filled with barakah. Until then, don't rush, don't settle, just wait. And while you wait, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Because here, we remind you of Allah's plan, His wisdom, and His love for you. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning.